The U.S. Air Force is planning to retire its entire fleet of A-10 Warthog aircraft by 2026, 2 years ahead of schedule. The 2026 spending package includes a request for $57 million to retire all 162 remaining A-10 Warthog fighter jets. The U.S. Air Force is also planning to retire 62 F-16 Season Ds, 21 F-15S, 13 F-15 Season Ds, 14 C-130H Hercules cargo planes, 3 C-130H Compass Call electronic warfare planes, 14 KC-135 Stratotankers, 11 HH-60G combat rescue helicopters, 35 T-1 Texan trainers, 4 UH-1N helicopters, and a B-1 Lancer. However, nearly half of the planned retirement list of 340 aircraft consists of A-10 Warthogs. This legacy fighter jet, which has been part of almost every major U.S. conflict since the 1980s, will soon become history. A-10 known to his havoc attacks against Iraqi tanks, but this aircraft have service spanning over 4 decades during which the fighter jet, also known as Tankbuster, took part in numerous conflicts, including the Gulf War, Afghanistan, Iraq and Syria. Introduced in 1976, the U.S. Air Force is only user of 716 A-10s built during 1976 to 1984. The U.S. Air Force used these in almost all wars after 1978. The modernization program starts in late 90s, but due to high success rate of A-10 upgrade programs proceeds for many years, and in 2011 all new A-10C entered into service, with new engines, fire control systems and avionics. The U.S. Air Force plans to retire its remaining 162 Fairchild Republic A-10 Warthog attack jets by the end of fiscal year 2026. In total, the U.S. Air Force plans to retire as many as 340 aircraft in year 2026, an ambitious retirement plan that is by far the largest for the U.S. Air Force fleet in recent years. However, intriguingly, the extensive retirement list does not include the F-22 Raptors, roughly 32 of which the Air Force has tried to retire in recent years due to concerns that they are not combat capable. This means that the USAF's stealthy air superiority fighter will remain in service for at least a few more years. The A-10 Thunderbolt II, nicknamed the Warthog, is a single-seat, twin-turbofan attack aircraft designed by Fairchild Republic for the U.S. Air Force. Originally conceptualized and designed to neutralize the Soviet tanks and armored vehicles during the tense Cold War era, the A-10 aircraft's development began in the late 1960s. It flew for the first time on May 10, 1972, as the Vietnam War was drawing to a close. The USAF began inducting these combat aircraft into service in 1976. The A-10 was built for close air support, targeting tanks, armored vehicles, and ground forces with unmatched precision and durability. One of the most striking features of this aircraft was its GAU-8 Avenger, a 30mm 7-barrel Gatling cannon. The Gatling gun is a unique weapon mounted on its snout. Its rapid bursts, 7 barrels firing 65 rounds per second, could easily destroy tanks and armored vehicles. Moreover, the A-10 was designed to survive in hostile environments. The A-10's rugged design incorporates a titanium armored cockpit, allowing it to survive significant battle damage. The Warthog can survive direct hits from armor-piercing and high-explosive projectiles, up to 23 mm. It can also operate at low altitudes and loiter for extended periods. The Warthog is a highly effective force protection platform due to its low flying and slow speed characteristics, exceptional air-to-ground precision, and loitering capacity. The A-10 can also launch a variety of air-to-ground missiles, including AGM-65 Maverick missiles, bombs, and rockets. For perspective, the faster air superiority fighters cannot fly slow enough to pick the ground targets or observe what they are attacking. This is necessary for air-to-ground attacks where even the most advanced electro-optical targeting systems cannot distinguish between friends and foes. The A-10 Warthogs also have short takeoff and landing, STOL, capability. This allows the aircraft to operate from short and rugged runways, enhancing its battlefield flexibility. More than 700 A-10s were produced between 1975 and 1984. The aircraft underwent multiple upgrades, which included the addition of modern avionics, precision-guided munitions, and digital displays. The aircraft took part in almost every major U.S. conflict since the 1980s, including the Gulf War, the Balkan Wars, the Afghanistan War, and in Iraq and Syria as well. Following its success in Operation Desert Storm in Iraq, the aircraft was given several nicknames, including Warthog, Flying Gun, and Tankbuster. Quote, in 2023, the A-10 attack jets were dispatched to the Middle East to boost U.S. air power amid increased tensions with Iran-backed forces. However, with time, these slow-flying aircraft, despite their exceptional ground attack capabilities, became obsolete. They could still perform in uncontested environments, such as Afghanistan, however, their chances of survivability in contested environments were extremely low. U.S. Air Force officials contended that these aircraft were not suitable for modern battlefield environments and could not withstand the advanced air defenses of near-peer adversaries, such as China and Russia. According to some news sources, the A-10s could be sent to Taiwan to strengthen country's growing defense requirements against China's expected invasion. The A-10 can play an important role in sinking invading Chinese naval fleets due to their exceptional ground attack capabilities. Furthermore, the A-10s are more sturdy and survivable than any jet in the Taiwan Air Force's inventory. Taiwan Air Force heavy dependent on F-16 Vipers and only challenging weapon against massive China's air arm, the A-10 can sink an invasion fleet and do so quickly. Notably, in its later years, the USAF was also using the A-10s in maritime roles. In 2011, these aircraft engaged in targeted strikes against small boats in Libya, and in 2016, they conducted surveillance missions over the South China Sea. Furthermore, an exercise in 2017 witnessed A-10 planes engaging in simulated attack maneuvers against small boats resembling the fast vessels commonly utilized by the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps Navy. These instances underscored the adaptability and multifaceted capabilities of the A-10 in various operational contexts. Another potential application is their use in shooting down aerial drones, as their slower flight speed could offer a tactical advantage in such scenarios. Due to these reasons, the A-10s can still play a crucial role in defending Taiwan. The U.S. Air Force has ambitious plans to retire 340 aircraft in fiscal year 2026. However, the proposed retirement list does not include Block 20 F-22A Raptors, roughly 32 of which the Air Force has tried to retire in recent years due to concerns that they are not combat capable. The Block 20s were primarily designed for training purposes and were not combat coded. Regarding this batch of older F-22s, Lieutenant General Richard Moore has stated, they will never be a part of the combat force. The plane's annual operational cost is $485 million United States dollars, which translates to around $15 million United States dollars per jet annually. So, the USAF could save $500 million a year by retiring them. However, for now, the USAF has resisted the urge to retire these Raptors. It remains to be seen if the USAF has planned a new role for them.